and it ranges from mild amusement to outright giggles.
Do you think I'd get arrested if I jumped in? Welcome to Yogyakarta! Well, actually, this isn't where we left you.
Last time you saw us, we were in the Highlands District of Bali. We made our way to Denpasar. From there, we landed in Yogyakarta late last night, and you're pretty much up to speed now.
And now we're in Yogyakarta, where it's hot again. We got used to the cool weather of Bedugul, so we might melt today. But on our way to melting, we are going to stop at the Fort Vredenburg Museum to learn a little bit more about Indonesian history. We're also going to go to a square that's called 0 Point Kilometers. We have no idea why. I guess we'll find out once we get there. And then if we aren't completely tired after that, we are going to swing by the palace and see if the Sultan is in. Maybe say hi. We're here during the month-long period that Ramadan takes place, and we don't know whether that means that we also don't eat. So we're not sure whether we're going to have lunch today. Come along and I guess we'll find out together.
Let's go.
Before you judge me, remember, we don't know if we're going to get lunch, but we did read that if you eat something during Ramadan, you should sort of try to do it away from people. So I've sort of been covering my donut because there are some shoppers about 20 feet to my right. So I'm trying to help them not be hungry. I read it's the right thing to do. So I'll just keep sneaking my bites. Was awfully tall. Bill is 6 foot 1 inch tall. I'm thinking not to scale.
We just wrapped up at the museum here. It was an excellent description of the history, militarily and politically, of Indonesia over the last couple hundred years, and mainly focused around Indonesia's struggle to become independent from the Dutch. And so there were a series of really well done dioramas. We wish that the English descriptions had been a little bit better so we could follow on more clearly, but it was pretty good. And honestly, at 10,000 rupiah to get in, probably the cheapest museum we've ever been in. But anyway, come check it out.
Just a little update, mall food courts are always open. We had some Japanese for lunch. It was quite good. And it's air conditioned in here, which is a double thumbs up. It's kind of a win-win all the way around.
And it's raining.
When he says raining, what he means is it's pouring outside. Like pouring. Oh my gosh, the umbrellas aren't enough for this. But we are still gonna dash back to the hotel. It's like 2 blocks. We can do this, we got this. Well, today honestly was a little bit of a bust. It didn't go exactly as planned. The rain cut our day short, but it stopped now and we got some video editing done and we're ready to head back out. I think the sun just set, so we should see a lot of people eating in the streets, unlike today when we had our sad meal in the food court. So I guess what that really means is that this video is going to be continued tomorrow when we do all the things we thought we were going to do today. But for now, let's hit the street again and find out what's going on down there and maybe find some good food. We're about to head out and the call to prayer that happens right at sunset just started. We're hearing it from 19 different places at once, and it's a lot. But what a celebration, it's really cool. I can't wait to go down to the streets. We're getting a much earlier start today and shops are still closed and it's kind of just a really nice walk down Malioboro Street. We're saving our shopping for later. We found it! This is 0 kilometer or 0 kilometer. It's a really pretty, very busy, quite loud square with some gorgeous buildings.
Why is it called the 0 kilometer square? Well, apparently this is the center of the original city of Yogyakarta, and all the distances for the city were measured from this point. And there's some neat buildings on the square.
Kind of neat. Kind of loud.
One of the stranger things I've seen while traveling. So there's 3 little sellers here that have absolute, briefcase loads full of money. It looks like real money. I have no idea what they're selling or what or why, but it just so happens that we're directly across from the Bank of Indonesia, right here. But if you know what this is about, drop us a note in the comments.
Having a little bit of trouble finding the palace. Like, we thought we knew exactly where it was, but we can't seem to get in. But we're going through the cutest alleyways with some cool art, and it's just really an interesting area. When I said alley, really, it was a street just for motorcycles. All the roads in this area and the architecture is completely different from where we're staying in Yogyakarta. Anyhow, I'm shocked that you can walk 20 minutes and get to such a completely different area. This is really cool.
Okay.
Okay.
The Palace of Yogyakarta is a beautiful complex that dates back to the 1750s, and the Sultan and his family still live here. In addition to this being the Sultan's home, important political and cultural functions take place here. In fact, they normally have regular gamelan music performances that visitors can attend. But unfortunately, since our visit was during Ramadan, we didn't get to experience one ourselves. Maybe next time.
Well, we just finished the tour of the palace. It turned out that there was a guide included, and we learned so much.
1945.
Oh! Wow. He spoke fantastic English, so I was really glad that we had him. The palace was huge. It was so much bigger than I expected, and it's so different than back in the U.S. because in the U.S. everything is enclosed because we have 4 seasons, I guess. Here, everything is outdoors. It's just all covered, and he was telling us about all of the different dignitaries and world leaders that have visited here in Yogyakarta. It was really interesting. I'm so glad that we made the trek out here and we went. He was incredibly thorough. What a great tour. I read mixed things online about whether this was good to visit and how things were run down, and that was not our experience at all. I'm really glad we did it, so don't always believe, I guess, what you read online. At the last palace, they called a guide for us from the ticket office. Here, you walk in and you are inundated with people wanting to be your guides, and people just hollering at us for their services.
They're really aggressive.
Even as we walk, telling us, you have to have a guide. Well, we don't have to have a guide. We saw plenty of locals go in without guides. So we're trying to do it on our own, but they're still following us around. Okay, I had read reviews online that this too was run down, and it certainly is much more than the Sultan's palace. But because of what I read online, I was not expecting there to be water in the pools, and there is. Do you think I'd get arrested if I jumped in? Look, there aren't even any signs to say no swimming, and the water starts right about there. I mean, there's no signs. It is so humid. I mean, I'm sort of tempted to find out. So the water palace, I've read, is where the Sultan would come to choose his wives, plural. He would sit at the top and he would overlook all the women as they're bathing and trying to catch his eye. And he would maybe see something that catches his eye and arrange for a little bit of a meet and greet. Possibly this is where the meet and greet took place? And that is what I know of the Water Palace. That's it. Maybe we should have hired one of those overly persistent guides following us around. Oh, they probably just heard me say that.
Bad tourists, bad tourists.
What if I just roll in the water? I accidentally will fall in. No one would know. It's our secret. Yeah?
Yep.
Oh God. Oh God.
This is surprisingly comfortable. So
You get a breeze?
it's really hot today. You get a nice breeze. It's also a little like sitting on the front of a double-decker bus. It's just you and the road and nothing else.
Literally, because there's nothing in front of us.
There's nothing in front of
It's
us.
also a little bit scary, but I love it. It's amazing.
Kind of fun.
I wasn't sure that this place would be open because Ramadan, but it is. We are at the oldest, maybe even the oldest, Gudeg restaurant in all of Yogyakarta at least. And I don't know whether to expect a soup or a braised meat maybe. Except it's not meat, but it comes with chicken. Yeah, so I have no idea what we're getting. All I know is that we were told this is something we have to try while we're here. So we're ordering it without really knowing. Here goes. So our food came out and it smells really good. And this is a regional dish that's made of jackfruit that's unripe, I guess, and stewed in coconut milk. It smells mainly like meat. So let's have Bill give it a try and see what we want.
Okay, so we got rice that pretty much tastes like rice. This stuff, I'm not really sure what it is. It might be the jackfruit, we're not really sure. It's sweet and a little bit, it's actually like a medium spice, so Heather's gonna love this. There's this other stuff here, I'm not really sure what that is. It's all mixed together. It kind of looks like minced chicken, but it could also be jackfruit. So it's all just sweet and spicy and mixed together. It's really tasty. The distress has begun.
Some of it is like mild to medium. And I just ate something that was medium to really hot, and I'm such a wimp. And so it just doesn't go well. There's pretty much a whole row of Gudeg restaurants along here. It was really tasty, but that was spicy for me.
That was no big deal. It was, see, I like the spice, and it was, I would say it's a solid medium, but it was sweet and spicy, which is, to me, just the perfect combination.
It was really good. Make sure you don't miss it when you come here. The very busy tunnel-looking thing behind me is one of the original gates of the city. This side of the gate is far more impressive. So this was the outside where I'm standing now. One of the challenges we've run into with visiting during Ramadan actually hasn't been the food, but the sites. It seems like most of them are closing earlier than what we've read online, like at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. or even 1 p.m., which sort of squishes our time for seeing things into only the morning until the evening when everybody comes out and they're able to eat again. We weren't really expecting to have a problem getting to all the sites we wanted to go to in a day because we thought they'd be open until 4 p.m. or 7 p.m. and they're just not. So that's one of the things that has surprised us about visiting Yogyakarta during Ramadan.
One of the things we try to do any place we go is to learn just a few words of the local language. You know, whether it be hello or please. What is it?
It's like a bread covered in a pastry.
The free samples never work. So we found on this trip actually using Javanese words for thank you very much. It's matur nuwun, and I'm probably saying it incorrectly, but most of the time people understand what you're saying. And it's amazing to see their faces just light up with delight that you've taken an effort to learn some of the local language. That's never been more true than here on Java. Matur nuwun. Matur nuwun.
Terima kasih.
Matur nuwun.
Thank you.
About 8 times out of 10 we'll get a positive reaction when saying thank you, especially here. And it ranges from mild amusement to outright giggles. And it's kind of fun.
Tonight we are trying bakso. As we understand it, bakso is like meatballs in a broth. We had no idea what we were ordering, but we got a bunch of different kinds of soup, we got some noodles, and it all looks and smells amazing. All right, now we'll try the meatball with some of the broth. It still seems super hot. I don't know what that is. It's not like a meatball because there's no ground meat that I can taste. It's more like a slice of a sausage, except it's in meatball format. It might be chicken. It's really tasty. It goes perfectly with the broth. Really nice soup on a super hot day. Oh man, we must be acclimating to the heat if I'm liking soup on a hot day. It's really good.
I'm going to try a fish dumpling called sao mei.
We think it's a fish dumpling.
We think it's a fish dumpling. Doesn't smell very much like fish yet. It's definitely fish, but it doesn't taste like fish. I mean, it's not a bad fishy taste, just a pleasant, good fish flavor, I guess. Salty, and it's in a dumpling, and there's some nice broth here.
We got bowls of broth with our noodles. We're not totally positive, but we think we dump them into our noodles. So here goes. You know they say never eat spaghetti on a first date. Well, I'm gonna slip a bunch of noodles on camera. Here we go. I think that's how it's supposed to go. It's really good. This is delicious. I'm so glad we're here. I need to eat now.
The lady that ran the place was really nice to talk to, and she let us know that we were the first tourists that she'd seen in her place in 2 years, which was a lot of fun. We've actually been hearing that a lot.
It's kind of an honor to be the first tourist back and representing tourists from all over the world. It was fantastic. We definitely would recommend eating there. But for now, we gotta turn in because we have some great adventures lined up for tomorrow. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is on fire! Fire lava! Because I can't feel any part of my mouth. So good night, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button below, and we'll catch you in the next video. See ya.
Good night.